Bennett
Yes.
Carey with the University of South Dakota's newspaper, The Belong. My question for you is, when you tweeted on Tuesday, we eliminated diversity offices which were focusing on leftist agendas. What did you mean?
We have opportunity centers now. They are renamed and refocused on a mission that creates opportunity for all. And I think that's going to be extremely beneficial for all the students that choose to get their higher education here in the state of South Dakota, recognizing that we are all equal and we all should have the opportunity to be successful.
And my follow-up question for that is, how do you think dismantling the diversity offices on campuses are going to keep college-educated students here in South Dakota?
It's not dismantling them, it's broadening their mission so that they focus on every single student. Diversity is a fantastic thing. I have incredible diversity in my life, in my family, and my friends and circles of people of influence. We all should and interact, but this is about focusing on the fact that every single person has value and has the opportunity to be successful at our university campuses.
Governor Austin Goss, I obviously haven't had a chance to review your vaccine mandate bill that you said you're bringing today, but over the summer you called Representative Hansen and Representative Odenbach wolves in sheep's clothing, not conservatives, for bringing similar legislation. How do you square what you're
Well, Austin, let's talk about their legislation. It wasn't similar. They wanted to take away, they wanted to mandate to businesses about not requiring vaccines for their employees. And what I was having an in-depth conversation with them over many, many weeks about was the fact that they don't have the authority to dictate to businesses. And if they thought they had the authority to dictate to businesses, then I would have been, for the last 2 years, wrong in saying that I didn't have the authority to tell businesses they had to shut down or how to run your business. And I cautioned them on being careful to call themselves conservatives when they basically want to be dictating what people do on their private property. So that's basically a conversation about private property rights and businesses, and their bill was very different than the one we're bringing forward.
So does yours effectively just broaden exemptions versus?
It doesn't broaden exemptions at all. It puts in state law that this business has to give the medical and religious exemptions that have long been standard in the country and that are appropriate, and adds immunity to those exemptions. It gives the employees an opportunity to have an exemption that will be talked about and debated here through those committees.
Governor, Attorney General Ravnsborg is reportedly seeking re-election, even amid everything else that's going on. I mean, what do you make of that? And does that, I guess, increase your concerns or desire to see him impeached?
I won't speak to that until they're finished with their process.
Governor,
Yep.
This comes from the newsroom in Sioux Falls, but the information they have.
It's never good, Bob, when you say, this isn't from me.
No, that's
This is
not
from
what-
somebody
no,
else.
I'm just, because I didn't hear this firsthand.
Okay.
But they have information that a top administrator at Springfield at the state prison there was walked off the job this week. And they want to know, is this part of your ongoing prison investigation?
Well, I can't talk about those personnel issues. We'll give you all the information I can when it's appropriate.
But it occurred.
Not that I'm aware of, so I'm going to find out.
I also, in the spirit of talking about the exemptions and stuff, you talked about during your State of the State natural immunity and acknowledging natural immunity. What does that look like in practice and in law?
Well, natural immunity is debatable when you talk about the science behind it and the studies that have shown, especially when it comes to COVID and the different variants that we've been dealing with for the last 2 years. So consistently, what we've seen come out of lead researchers across the world is that you can count on natural immunity around 6 months is the most consistent time frame. So if you measure your antibodies every 6 months, that would be the qualifier we'll use in this bill that we think has the most substance behind it with science and research and data.
Do you have natural immunity, Governor?
Not that I know of. I don't think I've had COVID yet, so I've been a pretty healthy kid.
There you go.
Yep.
Governor, the House right now, or the House Investigative Committee right now, is in the process of redacting part of the investigative file. Will you release the entire investigative file at some point?
I will not speak to that until they're done with their process. I think the Speaker's been very clear. He would prefer I stay silent till the impeachment process is over. I'll grant him that respect.
Just to follow up on,
Mm-hmm.
on the, sports bill,
Yes,
you brought up something if it comes through.
yes.
What should,
If there's amendments that would change it on the House floor today,
If it has amendments that come on the House floor today, it has to go back to the Senate. So there will still be debate. But the bill that I introduced, I absolutely would sign because it is a bill that we drafted, recognizing it would be the strongest one in the nation. So that one has had a lot of time and work put into it with a lot of different legislators who gave us feedback. I think that's why we're seeing agreement on it, and I'm hopeful the House will choose to pass it today with no amendments.
what should Custer State Park be used for?
What should it be used for? It's a treasure. It's a treasure for the state of South Dakota. It should be enjoyed by everyone. I think I'm good. Thank you, everybody.
thank you.
Yep.
You said you haven't had COVID yet, so you expect you'll get it someday or what?